everybody. Thank you again for joining us. This is Pivotal. So I am talking to a bunch of small business owners and marketers all across the North Bay and here in the East Bay. Mostly talking to friends who have been going through a lot with this pandemic. A lot of people are having to pivot their business, either restaurant owners or salon owners or wineries or pie shops, and they are trying to figure out what the next steps are. So I wanted to bring on, there we go.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
how's it going?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ozzy Jimenez, and I'm co-owner and founder of Noble Folk Ice Cream and Pie, and also Moustache Baked Goods in Healdsburg, Santa Rosa, and Windsor now.
Wait. Moustache is in Santa Rosa? No, Noble
No,
Folk.
no. Noble Folks in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
It's like we have different locations all over the county. But yeah, so hi, this is me. Hello, everyone. Shana, thank you so much for having me.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this. I wanted to bring you guys on because I've always been a fan of your marketing, which doesn't feel like marketing. It's just pretty pictures of gorgeous foods, and it always makes me hungry.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So, I mean, I guess my first question is really, how are you doing over there in Santa Rosa?
We're doing it. I feel like this pandemic is really making us activate like we've never activated before. And so, obviously we're still taking it day by day, week by week. We opened with, we were closed. I think when the shelter in place happened on March 17th, we closed for 3 days straight just because we were trying to regroup and kind of like figure out what the next 30 days were going to look like and how we were going to try to operate with like little or no information from, the county at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we launched curbside, takeout, online, just kind of the whole gamut of just trying to survive during COVID, just like everyone else out there.
So tell me, I mean, did you guys have you obviously had a website. Were you selling anything online? Did you have an e-commerce part?
No. So, one of the things that's been like great, I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? But it's like for the longest time, our stores have always been busy with foot traffic, that we kind of did a cost analysis of what, shipping would do for our business. But, with just kind of where we were positioned, we just didn't really have a kind of increased need for it, but the thing that was crazy was we definitely R&D'd everything over the years. So it's like we started R&D'ing, shipping, some of our products back in like 2013. But, once we figured out, oh, this is going to be such, a big feat to do the whole entire structure operation of getting a shipping departments, like it was a lot. And now like a perfect time to get that up and running during a pandemic. So we activated fairly quickly, and literally in those first 3 days that we had, closed the stores just to kind of regroup, we built a website with e-commerce in it.
Oh, wow. What did you use? Now I'm curious.
We use something that's directly tied into our POS system, and it's great for us because we can do delivery, takeout. It like tracks everything, but it's done through Square Up, which is what our POS system is.
Okay.
And that's just been fantastic. We've just been utilizing it, and it's also something new that Square bought. It's called Weebly is the program or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that. Okay.
And it's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but and that's the thing is like nothing is perfect right now. Even you could have invested, $30,000 into like beautiful, amazing website. But even during the pandemic, you're still going to have issues. You're still going to have that education piece with your customers to be like, add a note. If you want to add a note at the end of the checkout, you just have to go through the whole entire process. So it's like really forcing us to just like, look at like, how do we get our product out there through our website, but then also how do we make it easier for our customers to interface with our website? And we're getting better and better at it, and it's like, sometimes we'll get a customer that just, that can't figure it out. And, me and Christian were just like, why can't they figure it out? And then we're realizing, that the website we have currently, it's a work in progress. Like there'll be a phase, right now we're in phase 2 of it. So, and then there'll be a phase 3 and phase 4. So everything will happen kind of in succession. So just kind of encouraging like small business owners out there, like don't be so hard on yourself, like come out with anything you can, because it's like when you get those first orders coming in, like that is like, whoa, motivation. Like when we first launched the website, in the first 3 days, we had 80 takeout orders, like, which was insane for us. Cause it's like, we normally don't, we see that level of customers during the day, even more than that. But it's like to get 80 people to like go in the interface of the website, and say, I vote for you with my dollar because I want your product. Like that is gold, And so thank you. If any customers are listening,
I hope so. And if I was in town, I would be. Actually, yeah. I think I might be doing your Mother's Day thing for my mom.
So sweet.
Yeah, I thought that was such a great idea. I love the idea of collaborating with other businesses. I think it's a time to do that. So tell me about what you're doing with.
Yeah, and so you're like right on the money. It's like, I think especially in places like Sonoma County, it's so easy to partner with like-minded folks, and it's like, it's like for me, it's like I'm looking 6 months out with my business, and I'm just like, okay, we're gonna be here. It'll just likely look different, but I just want to make sure that my community still looks like what I remember it by. And the only way to do that is to support other local makers, And so we partnered for our Mother's Day package with Rue's Farm Weddings. We do weddings there all the time, and they reached out to us. And then Dragonfly Floral out of Healdsburg. So just like a Healdsburg makers kind of package.
I noticed that kind of theme, which made me happy because that's where I grew up.
Yeah. So just kind of working on that. And, we see a lot of moms during Mother's Day, even before the pandemic. It's where everyone goes to kind of take their mom out. And we just kind of wanted to bring people a little bit of that memory back into their homes, so, and also it helps sustain us as well. So it's feel like a win-win for moms, for us.
I love it. So do you think most of your current clientele, have they been loyal to you guys, or are they new people, or what do you think?
Well, that's what I love, right? It's like when I was on the front lines those first couple of weeks doing deliveries myself, because I would never put an employee in a situation where I wouldn't feel comfortable to do their job. But the cool thing about that was delivering to our super fans. So like literally those first, they have recurring orders. Isn't that what we're realizing? It's every week, like a family will order like 4 quarts for their freezer or whatever it ends that their amount ends up being. But it was nice because it's like I was able to kind of see people who, have just been supporting us and loving us from like day one, and to see them like, me delivering to their house. Like, I think, like they really appreciated that I would like go and do it myself. Obviously it's not sustainable for more than like, 3 weeks, having me do it. But no, that was a really big joy, is like seeing people like Lindsay Hinton Reader, who owns Ooh La La Weddings, and just seeing a bunch of like Healdsburg folks that like I haven't seen in a while. And so, yeah, that was really fun.
I love it. And that's one of the reasons why I think people love you guys. You do bring a sense of connection. Even through your social media posts, even if it's just pictures of hands, like you feel like you get to know the two of you and your employees. And I've always been a big fan of what you guys do on social. I do have a question. Have you guys been upping any email newsletters or anything?
So again, like those are definitely one of the things that we haven't like needed to, but now it's like, we have the capacity is there, like the system is there. So it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to get, once we start shipping nationwide for ice cream, which is one of the hardest things to do in the industry, it's like, what is your communication strategy? Like what kind of toolkits are you putting in there? And that is absolutely one of them that we have yet to untap. And so we're on it 100%.
Okay. I'm excited because I want some ice cream.
Yeah.
I can't eat ice cream and pie and cupcakes as much as I used to, just because getting older sucks. There's a lot of great things, don't get me wrong, but I
I
can't
tell
eat.
everyone everything in moderation, you know.
That's always how I've lived my life. Moderation with wine and delicious cupcakes. Awesome. I mean, so when this is all over, do you see you guys using any of these tools a little bit more, or are you just going to go back to the way things were?
No. I mean, so
I know it's a loaded question. I know the answer.
yeah. So what I've been telling a lot of my friends, especially, you know, my friends who are in business, is let go of the past. Because if you're sitting down and you're waiting for things to go back to normal, you're going to miss out on the bus moving forward. And it's kind of like one of the things where I think, you know, I think kind of when I first met you or saw of you on social media, it was kind of in the early days of like Instagram. And so that's where I feel like I saw a lot of you. And I feel like we're kind of in this space right now where I know there's a pandemic. I know it's crazy out there, but where the economy is going to be in recovery, right? So it's like, how can we pivot as a business to, you know, look at this period of time as an opportunity? I know that's crazy to say, but as entrepreneurs, you know, we, you know, have to support other people's wages, and, you know, it's not just us. So it's just like, how is it that we're looking at the recovery process, and where and how can our business kind of like plug into that? And then so it's just like, so there's that piece. And then, like, you know, one of the things that's been really, really fun about everything is like, yes, we have our diehard local, like regional people, you know, that come support us, love you guys. But now it's like, well, what does that recovery process look like? And it's like, well, hey, you know, we've collected over 10 years, you know, close to about like 44,000 emails, you know? And so it's just like, how do we, and that's just through purchases coming in through.
Yeah,
So
that
now it's like, how do we
technology.
collect that data and build a communication strategy around messaging to make sure that all of our, sorry about that.
It's life.
Yeah, to make sure that we're going to survive this. And so yeah, so it's like me and Christian, kind of our mindset right now is we're diving into the shipping business. We're diving into delivery and takeout, and we're putting in 150%. You know, and obviously some things had to get prioritized first, and we're working on other things too. But it's just like, we want this to be a kind of a new line of revenue once things kind of get back to normal. And so we're hoping that with a little bit of what we're doing in terms of accessing, you know, consumers at the national scale, and also keeping your products interesting, tasting good locally and regionally, like how do we bridge that? So that's kind of what I'm working on for this week. Is, you know, getting that list, you know, going on MailChimp, and, you know, figuring out cool content, and just kind of tell our story, you know.
Hey, that's all people want to see.
Yeah.
You already, I mean, the great thing about it is it's easy. You have great content to begin with. You have the aesthetic that I've always been.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I've always loved it. It's simple, and that's the type of you know, food that you guys make. Simple but damn good.
And you know, one of the things about our social media too, it's like we don't try to like overtly sell things. Like that's just not our vibe. And I know it's weird to say that when we're in the selling space, but I feel like everyone's always like super taxed by like ads. And so like I feel like with our Instagram, we try to kind of create like a lifestyle around it so that people want to like participate in it. And then once we get them to participate, then we have them buy into the product.
You create loyal fans because of it. That's actually exactly what I teach people. You know, it isn't, social media especially isn't about pushing the sale. It's not a billboard. You know, you're not a billboard in Roanoke Park over there with the spice sensuality. I've heard they changed up.
And who reads billboards anymore? You know, I'm just like,
I do. Okay, I love billboards.
yeah.
But billboards have one call to action: do something. social media is about creating, connections where people want to buy from you. And I think that's why I wanted to have you on, because you guys have created that over the years. And now that you are here, you can, even if you do sell a little bit on email, I think everybody's going to be okay with that.
Totally.
Like, do you remember the first few weeks of being in this pandemic, getting like 1 million emails from every brand you've ever signed up
I don't
for?
want to be that brand,
It was ridiculous. And it was like flash sales. It was buy now, buy now. And you're like, wait, no, we're not sure what's happening. I'm not buying shoes. I'm not buying, whatever, a couch.
And that was kind of like our MO too, was just kind of like, I would get, industry leaders or, people in the nonprofit world or just wherever, and they would just be like, well, how's business? And I'm just like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, how is business? And I'm like, well, what about health and safety from COVID? Like, that is, I think the health of our communities is first and foremost. And then comes that, so for me, it's like when I interact with people, I'm like, how's your health? Like, how is your family? Are they healthy? Like, who, like that should be the first question. And I know it's like a lot of folks want to get open. They want things to go back to normal, but it's not, I just have a general sense that it's not going to look like, February of this year, it's that economy is no longer here, so the faster we can kind of, either talk to a friend and just be like, hey, like, I've had a couple of my mom friends called me too, and they're kind of, their main focus is, their kids, which is also like, really, really important. But I'm like, also too, it's just like, is your husband working? Is your partner working? Because I have a general sense that it's going to get a little bit more worse before it gets better.
Well, we'll see what happens, but either way,
bad news, everyone. I'm sorry.
No, you've been doing such a great job on your personal, social media account, just reassuring people. And I think that the brands that do this safely, I think that the majority of people are going to appreciate that. And I know I do. And I want to see everybody safely open up when it makes sense.
Totally.
By the time this comes out, hey, we might be open. Probably not, but we don't know what's going to happen next. And there's not like, during a fire, you have like a clear day when it's all better. You know what I mean? The fire is gone. The smoke is out of the air. We can go back to work. This isn't the same.
No,
it's not.
And it's like I have this running joke where it's like fires, floods. You remember the floods that happened last year, and then like now this pandemic. So now I'm just gonna bring it on. Like whatever you have, God,
we have dealt with it. Honestly, I do feel like wine country, the North Bay in general, has been better prepared for this almost because we've seen some shit.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't in Healdsburg last year for the really bad, the Kincaid, but we did have to, we went down south because there were a few fires here in Contra Costa County too. And I was like, nope, no one else left, but we were like, we're out of here.
Especially for your little one too, it's like, you can't subject, kids with, who have like, health problems with like breathing. It's like, no, just like dip out.
Yeah, but
I kind of want to touch back on that kind of thing about like opening when it's safe, and then kind of like seeing, some businesses, some bigger box businesses right now, kind of open and not necessarily always practicing social distancing that I've been seeing. And, it's like, I think that's the thing about Sonoma County. I think Healdsburg, especially like our smaller communities and stuff, it's like, how do you build trust with your customer? Because I feel like trust with your customer is going to be super key in success out of this. Just like, when you were thinking about having a play date, it's like, you're not going to invite over someone who has the flu, before COVID, right? You're not going to invite them over because that isn't the nice thing to do to either party. It's like I feel like businesses have a due diligence in making sure that they have safety protocols in place so that they can start building that trust, that confidence, so that customers can feel comfortable to continue to buy from you. Because it's like, if you're not building that trust, that we're creating safety protocols around health and sanitation, then you're not building that trust, you know. And I think so that's kind of one of the big things that I'm trying to work on right now is like, what does that mean? Does that mean we post a sign where it says, if you don't come in, you don't wear a mask? Absolutely. You know, it's like, don't come to my store if you don't have a mask, because I don't want you to subject my employees' health, you know. So yeah, that I think is a big one that not really a whole lot of people are, because everyone's so eager to like open and like, but it's just like, slow down just a little bit. Like,
Wait, figure out what it looks like first.
it'll be there, but it's like, how do we create like the how you know, what does your signage look like? You know, do you have your tape down on your floor? Do you have the plexiglass thing? You know, I don't know. It's just, that's just something worth thinking about.
Thankfully, you know, we've been able to see from grocery stores or even restaurants. My mom took a picture. She lives over on Marlow and Pioneer area. There's a fruit, like ice cream pop stand right across from like where the Mary's Pizza Shack is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually have like a stand outside where it's like order, pick up. They like made it with wood, and it's just this stand that's outside that it kind of looks like the like, I don't know, just wherever you would order, and you just pick it up and you'd walk away. So there's no option of going inside their facility.
And that makes me comfortable. You know, like I am trusting in the fact that they're taking this seriously by having a door outside. And so go them. I don't know who they are, but we can plug them in with a shout out or something.
I think they have a few different stores.
Thank you for following protocol. Cool place off Marlow that serves ice cream and fruit.
Yeah. No, everybody that's following protocol, I'm very excited about what to see next, and what's coming up, because I think you hit on this earlier. There's a lot of opportunity for being creative and truly connecting with your audience. So totally. I'm excited to see what happens next, and I'm excited to.
Well, I think, well, that's the thing, right? What happens next, right? So what's happening next for Noble Folk, right? So it's like Noble Folk and Moustache Baked Goods, like Moustache Baked Goods, we're not open currently up in Healdsburg with that location, just because we already have a location there. Once things start to kind of ease up a little bit more, we'll get back into swing of things like we were before. But for us, like, what does opportunity look for us? How is it that we're pivoting? Is we're launching nationwide shipping. So we're offering all of our products, I mean, most of our products, and we're coming on 3 phases. So we did 3,000 cookies to the Bay Area as a test shipment 2 weeks ago. And then this past week, we shipped out pies and we shipped out cake mixes for consumers to bake off at home. So that's like phase 2. Phase 3 is somewhere in my house.
We'll figure it out, but okay. I feel like I need to be a part of phase 3 because I'm an hour and a half away, and I have,
Well, but phase 3 is where, you know, it's like we're testing dry ice in sealed containers. And so we just opened them. I should have unboxed them for this video. I'm sorry. But we just opened them. And this ice cream was still frozen. I was like, it's been 3 days. Like, how is it staying frozen? So it's like, we're moving and shaking. You know, it's like, we appreciate all of our customers that have supported us through the years. From, you know, we're in a tourist destination, which is Sonoma County, you know, and so we're excited to be accessing and, you know, kind of bringing people a little taste of Sonoma County if they're, you know, stuck at home in their apartment in New York City and Manhattan, and they remember coming to Sonoma County. Where we're hoping and counting on them to support us during this time with shipping nationwide. So yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens next. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Like the banner at the bottom says, find him at Noble Folk on Instagram and everywhere. Follow or sign up for their emails so you can get access when they do start it. And thank you. I'm excited.
Shana, so much for having us, and wanted to thank you for activating in this way and, you know, giving small business owners a voice. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Well, so the whole point of this is because, you know, I'm at home by myself. Well, not by myself, but like I'm a small business owner that doesn't have employees. And so I can only, rant about so much. But if I don't understand the complexity of, how to pivot your business when you have employees to deal with, when you have overhead of however many restaurants, or not restaurants, locations you guys have. So that's why I wanted to talk to people a little bit more and get, just information.
Well, and keep collaborating. I think the biggest thing here, like even before COVID, people would ask me what's like one of the biggest, tools that you use in order to like achieve success. And I'm like, just talking to people and being honest about your struggles. I feel like oftentimes in the business world, we're so competitive. And, for us, we try not to be, because I think it's better to innovate than be competitive. And you can only really innovate when you're getting kind of bouncing ideas off of people and people who are in the same industry that you're in. So yeah, thank you very much.
That's beautiful. Thank you. A great way to end. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you guys for watching.
Yay.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you around.